Tuesday morning, Plus Sports and PlusTvAfrica. My name is Wally Scott. Welcome on the show. We're still expecting my guest on the show. And of course, when he eventually comes on, you know who he is. Mukail Tinubu, good morning.
Good morning.
Now, the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, we're expecting him on the show on Saturday, Sunday Dare, says he has directed a full investigation to unravel the causes behind the disqualification of 10 athletes from the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Last month, long jumper Ruth Usoro, Favor Ofili, and 8 others were disqualified from the Tokyo Games by the Athletics Integrity Unit after they failed to undergo their mandatory out-of-competition tests. Dare said the ministry did everything possible to ensure the disqualified athletes achieved their dreams of being Olympians. He also took responsibility for the disqualification and apologized to the affected athletes. Dare also said to ensure that an incident does not happen again, the new Medical and Anti-Doping Commission has been established. The sports minister also said the country will do everything to support a Blessing Okagbare as she appeals a provisional ban after testing positive to human growth hormone. He described the 2020 Olympics outing as Nigeria's best in 13 years. First off, before we go on to the crux of the matter, the guy, first of all, accepts responsibility and apologizes for what the athletes went through. I think that's a very honorable.
It's a mark of true leadership. Unfortunately, no matter how powerful, no matter how much you try to macromanage every aspect of whatever organization or institution you are at the head of, there will still be things that fall through the cracks, and this has been one of them. It's certainly possible that he didn't get the right reports at the right time to keep him abreast of the situation. But going forward, I'm sure what will mark his tenure is how well he learns from the mistakes that have been made under him so far.
Now, one of the athletes, I think she's based in the US or something, said that the organizers of this medical tests called the Sports Federation, and that our guys here said that they didn't know the whereabouts of most of the athletes, and that's why they didn't get tested. And that it was negligence on the part of the... And the minister said, okay, good. We didn't do well. We agree. I apologize on everybody's behalf. And he has now commissioned a medical team that will solely ensure that they get tested 3 times in a year before the Olympics.
I know I have criticized them in the past for this.
I've always done that.
But if I take a step back and look at it, you come into a job such as important as this is, and maybe you don't have the requisite experience, like you didn't go up the ladder in the institution to know where all the various parastatals within it are supposed to exist, their functions, and when you're tasked with leading it out of the blue, you have to learn as the time goes on. You have to learn on the job, and this will be a learning experience that he must rectify and take more aggressive action for going forward.
Somebody needs to be punished.
Yes.
Now, I get paid for doing this job. I'm a sports analyst. I get paid for doing it. And I don't have any excuses most times. Or God self will not even give you chances for excuses, really. But on the flip side, the officials were negligent. And the sports minister has apologized. He's done the honorable thing by apologizing. But the athletes who get paid for being athletes,
yes,
who should know or who know that they must get 3 tests in a year before the Olympics. If the officials did not call you, why not call them?
Yeah, you've had the experience of taking tests in the past. You've gone for multiple competitions.
And nobody is calling you to come and get tests.
No one is calling you does not mean, it's like your teacher hasn't mentioned the fact that there's going to be a test. But you know there's usually at least 1 test before your exams.
For example.
Yeah, exactly. So I get, it sounds to me like there were students who didn't want to have to take a test.
Exactly.
and they didn't hear from the lecturer, and so they concluded that they didn't
test.
Yes,
because they actually did not want to test.
Yes.
The Bayelsa government on Monday, yesterday, declared that Bayelsa Queens and Bayelsa United will be given a rousing welcome to the state to celebrate their AITEO Cup victories. Governor Doye Diri disclosed this when he visited the players and officials of the two teams at their camp in Benin City shortly after their victories in the men and women's categories of the tournament. A statement signed by Dubara Atasi, media aide to the Bayelsa Deputy Governor Lawrence Evujapo, stated that a public holiday would also be declared in their honor. Diri, who was represented by his deputy, praised the heroic achievements of the teams, describing them as heroes and heroines the Bayelsa people were proud of. We said this last time. When the government, when the powers that be, get involved in your case, asks questions about how your welfare is and all that, you do well.
Yes.
You want to make them smile. You make them, when they behave like fathers to you, you behave like children to them. Bayelsa has done that.
Yes.
Now, they've made history. Their male and female teams have won the AITEO Cup. It never happened in the history of Nigeria football history. Now, they are also saying that we have seen in the past where streets are named after footballers, houses are given to athletes,
Yes.
you know. Now the guy is saying he's going to go as far, actually, the state will know that today's public holiday is because of us.
Okay.
He hasn't given the date yet, but you know, I think it's a lot of, it gives you a lot of patriotism when you know this street is named after me, this public holiday is because of me.
The easiest way to make someone take ownership of their own responsibilities, of going out there and performing and winning competition, is to call them up. What do you need? Offer them the resources. And then when they're prepared, ready to go, it's now on them. And the rest of everything, their glory, their name, their reputation, is now on the line because they've had all the preparation. They've had all the resources necessary to give them the best foot forward. It's like a child growing up. Your father sends you to kindergarten, nursery school, primary school, secondary school, and gives you all the basics. Ultimately, the expectation is that you do well and you've learned the art of doing well at academic...
and most importantly, impressing the person who did all that.
Exactly.
Now, I have nothing against my people, but my brain just can't comprehend it. Gays, lesbians, LGBTs, my brain just can't comprehend it. But Fognini actually donned rainbow-colored kits for his first match, and in support of LGBTs. He's not one, you know what, in support of them. I'm not against them, I support them too. My brain just can't comprehend it.
Well, the thing about, okay, so I explained to someone once that we operate in a world where we've set up circular institutions, laws that promise each and every one of us we are equals based on our humanity. And whether we choose to love a man or a woman is not a condition to be treated with humane treatment. So the law must recognize that as it is set up now, or effectively I should say that those who enforce the law must recognize right now that the law already protects gays and lesbians. The rest of it is all just morality and cultural preferences.
Well, I'll come back to that later. The good thing about it is that the society is so free now. It's giving so much freedom that people are now feeling more comfortable to come out of their cupboards and say, this is what I am. You know, and nobody's going to treat them like they are outcasts. We're seeing more of that now, and I think it's good. I think the society has become less rigid and more free. We'll talk about that when we come back. Now, Fabio Fognini donned rainbow-colored accessories in his first match since using an anti-LGBTQ star at the Olympics, as the Italian booked his spot in the second round of the Toronto Masters yesterday. Now, Fognini, who was heard using the homophobic slur during his third round, lost to Daniel Medvedev at the games, wore a rainbow headband and wristbands as he came from a set down to beat Germany's Jan Leonard Struff 6-7, 2, 6-2, 6-4. Now Croat Marian Cilic, fresh off winning silver in the men's doubles in Tokyo, also advanced, seeing off Albert Ramos Nimdas of Spain 6-2, 4-6, 6-3, while Frenchman Hugo Humbert eased past Italy's Lorenzo Sonego 6-3, 6-4.
Again, center match, Cilic, 2 sets to 1. 6-2, 4-6, 6-3.
Are you okay, Lorenzo?
Okay. Yeah.
Game, set, match, Humbert. 2 sets to love. 6-3, 6-4.
Fognini, after first of all insulting LGBTs, supports them in that game. Where's the headband? Where's the handband? I think it's good. When you do something wrong, I think it's always honorable to always apologize. Well, he didn't apologize well verbally, but physically he's done that. And I think that should be enough.
Well,
That should be enough.
The thing about these circumstances, situations like these where someone is caught in their private moment uttering a slur that can be considered offensive to one group of people, what we have to remember is that people use slurs all the time.
All the time.
Swears of all kinds. It's political correctness that has made it so necessary for us to now watch what we say. If I insulted my fellow black person and I said, you black, so and so, it's okay because we're both black.
Yeah.
But if it was a white person saying, you black, so and so, the focus is, oh, he purposely emphasized that this person is black, and that becomes the topic.
Okay. This guy goes to Barcelona, Sergio Kun Aguero, and then he gets a 10-month injury. I expected that.
10?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, Ansu Fati is only 18, scoring and then he got injured too. And then he's back. And then we have other players still in Barcelona, Gerard Piqué, they unveiled their first 11 players. I wanted to mention, I didn't see Oshuala, but I heard she was injured. Okay. But, Piqué, everybody's there, in the team. And they played Juventus, a full Juventus.
Yeah, I watched.
A full Juventus.
I think Juventus were still in a friendly mode
Yeah,
at the time.
and they beat them 3-0. And you see, when it comes to playing a Barcelona, Juventus, the old ladies of Italian football, it's a match that's got, it's a grudge match. Elbow room is involved, you want space, you want to actually say it was a friendly year, but we beat them, And Barcelona will always, post Messi, will always say, yes, it was a friendly, but we beat them and it was 3-0.
Unfortunately, I think I've said this before, they don't strike me as a team capable of competing at the very top of European football. They're a good Italian team, but they're a good European team because at this point, the old lady is old.
Yeah,
Majority
true
of their players
Yeah.
are in their 30s. And only a few sparks here and there, like Federico Chiesa, Kulusevski, Dybala, and Morata, who are really lighting up and keeping the age average of the squad low. But the rest, even Ronaldo, pardon the
Chiellini
yeah,
and the rest of them.
Bonucci,
Bonucci, yeah.
everyone else in that squad, aside from maybe the lit in defense, everyone else in that squad, right up to their goalkeeper, is old, and they keep going after.
They should renovate the whole squad,
Yes,
really.
yes.
Now, Barcelona finished preparations for the new season with some positivity as they beat Juventus 3-0 at the Johan Cruyff Stadium in the 2021 Johan Gamper Trophy. The Blaugarana played a solid attacking game for all 90 minutes, and despite a few bad moments in defense, they managed to keep a clean sheet and will go into the new season with good feelings as the post-Messi era begins. Spirits were high in front of Paris Parc des Princes Stadium on Monday as Paris Saint-Germain fans waited for the arrival of former Barcelona player Lionel Messi in the second day in a row. Messi is reportedly finalizing a move to PSG a day after his teary farewell from Barca, who could not afford to sign him to a new contract. He will not arrive in the French capital before Tuesday, according to the French media. Now, fans were also eagerly waiting at Le Bourget Airport outside Paris, where he's set to land at the American Hospital of Paris, where he will carry out health checks, and at the PSG headquarters in Boulogne-Billancourt. Now, this is the data. I only see this when it comes to religious packages, where people actually go for night vigil, go to religious camps for 2, 3, 4 days, you know, and then come back home with water and all that, you know, that's not the issue. But in this case, Paris Saint-Germain fans have waited at the Eiffel Tower, at the Parc des Princes, for 2 days now, back to back, waiting for Messi to arrive.
And honestly, on some level, I think it's, and I don't want to be insulting to them, but I think it's a little pathetic.
Yeah.
I get that Messi is probably worth this kind of, you know, welcome. But then you're waiting for 2 days in a row. And
they set up camp.
Yes. As PSG even announced officially that
he's coming.
He's coming today. He's coming at this hour. Or is it just rumors you're hearing online or news networks that are proposing that he's coming, he's coming on a certain day? The thing about Messi coming, and it feels a little wrong to say this, but they've been waiting for him much longer than this. Paris Saint-Germain have been trying to get him even long before last season.
Yeah.
Because all of their moves have been to try to steal the very best players in the world. There was a time they were really interested in Ronaldo. They went ahead and bought Neymar and Mbappe. And there was always an expectation that if Messi just said he wasn't happy with one thing, then maybe they could offer him a package.
But Barcelona are going to court over this PSG move. And I think it's a case of Messi deep down doesn't want to leave. I think Barcelona deep down doesn't want to let him go.
Yes.
I think something is wrong somewhere.
Yes, they don't want to let him go. But what I think is, last year someone, commentators said that it would actually benefit Barcelona to let Messi go because, you know, his contract, collecting over £30 million a season, it would actually, with their situation at the time, saving that 30 million would actually benefit them immensely. This season, he's gone, and the structure, even though La Liga collected a loan of 2.7 billion, about 30 mil of that was going to go to Barcelona. 15% of it was going to be spent on salaries, and it would have allowed them to cover Messi's. But the club still has structural issues that they need to pump money into. And when you're spending most of that money on Messi and all the other players that you've brought in this summer, it doesn't bode well for the longevity of the club.
My point would be, maybe Barcelona are looking at the business side of buying Messi. Because we hear, well, be apologist, that is, that they're already selling Messi shirts in Paris and Lyon for black markets, you know, local, as in fake jerseys. And people are buying it massively. So I can imagine if people are buying fake Messi jerseys in Paris and Lyon already. Let's imagine that the guy eventually signs for Paris Saint-Germain and then his jerseys come out. PSG will make half the money they've paid him from jersey sales alone.
Yes. Now, someone might wonder why Barcelona would let a player with such merchandisable name.
A Messi jersey would sell across the world.
However, Barcelona have extracted pretty much as much money as they can from selling
that guy, from his brand,
and they're still in debt. It's another club, a new club, a PSG that can benefit from the added revenue that comes from selling Messi's jerseys. So it's the impact he can bring immediately financially that benefits whatever club he signs for. If you're already playing at a club, Juventus, for example, there is already probably a peak. They've reached a peak in selling Ronaldo's jerseys. But when Ronaldo first came, he added about 30 million followers to their Instagram. Their stocks went up, and even the jerseys that they must have sold for him must have been exponential.
Okay. Now, Jack Grealish admits his Aston Villa departure was as emotional as Lionel Messi's Barcelona farewell press conference, and one that also involved tears. 25-year-old had been with his hometown club since the age of 6 and was signed by Man City last week for a British record fee of £100 million. He also spoke of his desire to play in the UEFA Champions League and seemed fully aware his new club's goal of winning the trophy for the very first time.
I think everyone knows that, I obviously reported back for the pre-season as I was meant to. That's when the manager wanted me back, so I obviously went back for a few days. It was obviously difficult because in the back of my head, I knew that I might be going. So I didn't really train. I'd done a few stuff on my own and stuff. But yeah, obviously, it was difficult. Everyone's seen the way Messi was yesterday or the day before at his final press conference, and that is the exact way I felt myself. Actually, before I left at the hotel, I spoke to the team and the staff and the players, and yeah, I teared up a little bit myself. But it was one of them, I felt like it was time for me to move on. Obviously, I've always said how much I wanted to play Champions League football, and I couldn't do that at Villa this year. And I have a football club here that has got so much potential. They've had I think they're the most successful English side in the last 10 years. And yeah, they showed.
Jack Grealish, a crowd out there welcoming him to an English boy from Aston Villa to Man City. Let me see, he come from anywhere really. Yeah. But that's all we can take on the show today. Mukail Tinubu, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa on a Tuesday morning. Join Mukail same time tomorrow on the show, and of course something special will come up. I can assure you that. Okay, join us on Plus Sports on Plus TV Africa. My name is Wally Scott. Like I always advise you at the end of every show, if not for anything, at least for your heart, do some sports.